And I would say John chapter 21 is a very interesting chapter. As I read through John 21, again, especially the interaction that Jesus had with Peter, it suddenly dawned on me that this chapter can be summarized in one word. And that word is love. That's all this chapter is all about. It's because Jesus was dealing with the heart of the matter with Peter. Now, I would argue with you, this has been the case from the moment God created man. God created man for one purpose. It was for relationship. That's why God put Adam and Eve in the garden. That's why God gave them full dominion over the earth, because God wanted to have a relationship with man. This is what God wanted. And a relationship not out of obligation. A relationship not out of strong-arming man to want to love him. It had to be done by free will. Man had to choose to love God by his own. And when man failed to obey God, he loses that incredible position that God had placed man in, to walk in close relationship with him, to experience life in such incredible ways that you and I would only experience that when we get back to heaven. That's the kind of life that God had for mankind when he put them on the garden. But then when they failed, separation came. Again, God chooses a group of people to be his people, the children of Israel, as the set-apart nation. What does God do? He starts teaching them again. He starts teaching them on how to be the people that will be after his own heart. How to be the people who would then have the same kind of relationship that God had intended in the first place to have. Which means if you go back to the Old Testament and you begin to look at the instructions that God gives to the children of Israel, especially when God freed them from slavery, from Egypt, when they became an actual people group, when they were in the wilderness, and as God started giving them the law, as God started giving them the way in which they should live, he started with what Jesus summarized the entire law as. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind.